We as leftists are open-minded and that is nice, but I think we often literally forget that our opponents are not. The people on the right often identify as skeptics, and that means that they take great pride in having a closed mind. They show disbelief to as many things as possible. This realization is very important to remember when you are making an argument. Say for example you want to tell people that milk is racist. How will you do that? Well, you might say, I just say, hey you guys, did you know that milk is racist? And then I proceed to explain why. This may feel like a good idea, but it's not. You see, we, the left, open-minded individuals, would be captivated by such a statement because it raises questions, like for example, what is it that is supposedly racist about milk? But a skeptic asks no questions. A person who identifies as a skeptic is not interested in learning anything new. A skeptic merely wants to disagree with you about as many things as possible. So when you tell them that milk is racist, their response is not to ask questions, but to dismiss the very notion irreversibly. Because they immediately will have a gut feeling that this is just a stupid thing to believe. And for the sake of consistency and loyalty to their own beliefs, they will later have to keep disagreeing with you regardless of how good your arguments will turn out to be. Because a person who changes their mind and starts viewing the world in a new light is a kind of traitor to them. A weakling who allowed himself to be forced the unholy Kool-Aid of leftism upon him. To us as social justice advocates, it sounds hardly believable that any human mind would operate in such a manner. But if you watch their stuff, you'll find that that is pretty much how it is. For them, always staying true to your initial gut feeling regarding a certain topic is the ultimate virtue, a sign of great willpower and strength. So when you say, hey you guys, did you know that milk is racist? You have already lost the argument before you made any. Because this is a position that to a skeptic sounds so ridiculous that it feels justifiable to them to already dismiss it prior to any discourse whatsoever. Because they just know by their gut feeling that this is gonna be some more leftist moral outrage. So then what are my recommendations? How would I tell a fellow human being about how milk is racist? I would start off by showing them a cooking book. Now I don't own a cooking book, so here I'm using a Bible as a placeholder. Though the Bible has interesting things to say about milk as well. But that may be the topic for another time. So I point to a recipe and I say, look, there's milk in this recipe. And of course the skeptic wants to fact check this in the hopes of me being wrong. And I point to another recipe and I say, ooh, there's milk in this one too. And then they take a look, or rather he takes a look, because in general, skeptics use he, him pronouns. So he takes a look and says, oh yeah, that's true. This recipe has milk in it. And then together, the skeptic and I will come to the conclusion that a lot of things have milk in it. And then I say, did you know that statistically 1/3 of the population is lactose intolerant? And then they say, no way! Possibly accompanied by strong adult language. There's no way, he says, it's never that many. So I say, let's check it then. Let's ask Mr. Google what the truth is. And what we'll find is that 65% of humans are lactose intolerant. So I was wrong. It's not just 1/3 like I said. And that in all likelihood already sounded hardly plausible in the ears of the rational skeptic. Yes, verily I say unto you, as implausible as it sounds, roughly 2/3 of the population is lactose intolerant. So see, I'm almost there already. I only need to do one more thing. I say, my fellow human being, it's time to look at some memes. And in all likelihood he will agree, because it's always a good time for depressed young adults to look at memes. So we go to YouTube and in all likelihood a certain ad will play before the video. And now I think, assuming that the skeptic has some sense, he will begin realizing on his own that we live in a society with a milk-related injustice.